Hey, Summit of Greatness, the third annual Summit of Greatness 2018. Such a great experience it was, such a blessing seeing you all. You're wondering why I got this football in my hand, because it's not just because the Eagles won the Super Bowl, boom, but it's because I'm gonna try and do this video in under 12 minutes, which is a quarter of football. So it's urgency, just to be beneficial and respect your time and create the maximum amount of value in the shortest time. So I'm transferring, replicating, duplicating what I learned to you so you could really remind you of some of the things you learned, or show you some things that you didn't notice and what was powerful for me, because different things resonate with different people. So first things first, I'm the kind of guy at these events where I'm out there. I'm so out there. I'm extrovert bumblebee, meeting the maximum amount of people and making the biggest contribution and being as generous as I possibly can. I've tried the whole sit back and wait for people to come to me thing. Doesn't work for me. So if I got to meet you, I'm so grateful and I'm so blessed we got to connect. Let's stay connected. And if we didn't get to connect, feel free to reach out now. And I'd love to see how I can support you with your vision. And speaking of vision, my vision for this is just to show and share 7 ways. There's 7 things I got from the Summit of Greatness. First being Lewis Howes. When right away he said, go all in on your fears until they disappear. All in on your fears until they disappear. Think of a time that happened for you. I mean, it works. Has this happened for you where you did something you were afraid to do and you overcame the fear because of it? So Ralph Waldo Emerson says, do the thing you're afraid to do and the death of fear is certain. He also says, always, always, always do what you're afraid to do. So what happens in my experience is the plateau rises. You come out on the other side a stronger version of yourself. I've always become a bigger, brighter, better me because I did the thing I was afraid to do. And it seems less now. It seems like, oh, I got that. There's a higher standard. So that's the value in going all in your fear until it disappears. So thank you, Lewis Howes, for that first one. Number 2 is Amy Purdy, the keynote speaker, the final speaker, Olympic gold medalist. She said, Paralympic gold medalist. She shared that it was declare what you want. So set your intention to declare what you want and then tell everybody all around you and let them know what that is so they could hold you accountable. And this might not work for all personalities, but it definitely works for me. In the past, it just puts this pressure on me. Pressure creates diamonds, so it makes me show up and deliver on my word of what I'm saying I'm gonna do. So given that, I'd like to see you post in the comments below one goal by next year, a finally moment, something that you haven't done yet that you want to create, maybe something that you're afraid to do that you can go all in on so that fear can disappear. So what's that one thing you can declare by next year, by next summit, which is in September? So comment below. I want to see it so I can hold you accountable and support you. And I'm going to share mine. Mine is by next year. So how many by when is a great way to set goals for a framework to make it specific, measurable, all that jazz, smart. So by next year, I get to start a mastermind. I've done group coaching, but this is going to be a mastermind. And I'm going to say I'm committing to 8 people in this mastermind, for starters, 8 people in a mastermind by next year, and either a retreat where I rent out a nice mansion and have a fun party retreat, or a summit of some sort where it's a mini version of Summit of Greatness where I facilitate different speakers to come together in a day or two to create a great experience for people along with that mastermind. So getting it started, building it. So that is my goal I'm declaring by next year. It does scare me. It is risky and it's worth it. So what's yours? Comment below. Don't forget to do that. And yeah, it could be simple, it could be small, it's fine, whatever. Third point, third thing, Mark Hyman talked about gluten-free, how gluten doesn't really serve us. He disagree with it, and people live longer the less they eat. So those were 2 takeaways I got from Mark Hyman that I've already implemented. Amy Purdy, I just declared her thing, right? Lewis Howes said, go all in on your fears. So doing this video could be like and declaring my goal could be a fear. Declaring my goal was Amy Purdy's. So I just took action on 3 things. I actually lived those 3 things. So it's important for whatever takeaways we have to live it. So I just put into action, begun 3 of those things. And I've put into action this 4th one, and that's from Eric Thomas. He spoke on his why and how he gets up in the morning and he'd look at his phone and see his family. So the last couple of days, I added this to my morning ritual where I saw the Ed Mylett podcast with Lewis Howes. And what Ed does, guys, is Ed Mylett, he gets on his knees and prays and gratitude to God. So I do the same thing with the Bible open, and I pray, and I'm so grateful, and I access that energy, the animating force, universe, nature, whatever you want to call it, and I just fill myself up with joy and gratitude, fulfillment, love. And now I'm using my phone, which is shooting this video, and I look at my family's faces, my brother, my sister, my mom, dad, great best friends, and I feel that gratitude there, and it's been super powerful already. So I'm super thankful for that. That's what I got from Eric Thomas. I also had a personal experience with Eric Thomas, which will be the 5th thing, which is I'm sitting with Alyssa and my friend Kimberlyn at the Market 60, whatever it's called, and they go crazy because they see Eric Thomas. So I'm like, oh, I didn't say hi to him yet because I didn't wait in line. So I sprint over to him and I thank him for the difference he made when I'd watched the TGIMs in college. And I said, our friend, we have a mutual friend, I said, I'm right behind him. He's doing big things. He's doing bigger things than me, speaking impact, audience-wise, all that. So I said, I'm right behind him. And he stopped me and he said, no, you're not behind him. You're beside him. You're beside him. Whoa, let that land. So for me, my brain, like, where else do I do that where I think I'm behind someone? Yaya, who's at the event the last 2 years, great motivational speaker, friend of mine, he says, don't compare your chapter 4 to someone's chapter 20. Right? So I have a tendency to do that. So for me, that was valuable to hear that from Eric Thomas, to tell me, you're beside him, you're not behind him. That should rock my boat like the Poseidon, that I am no longer behind them, I am beside them. So that's a mindset shift I get to do, that I get to access that energy I had at the Wyclef Jean concert when I'm passionate, I'm confident, I'm dancing, I'm in flow, I feel like I can create anything. If you danced that night and felt that energy too, then you get to live with that energy on a daily basis, because that's where the creation happens. And for me, it's not even about the creation. It's like, yeah, there's a creation. Yeah, I can get the goal and have the mastermind and have my own event. But I want the creator more than the creation. It's about the creator more than the creation. What does that mean? It's about having that, again, that I'm a spiritual person, having that spirit in me as I'm creating what I want to create, whatever result it is. It's more about the process and the journey. So it's a blessing, and that's what all the speakers had in common. Their journey is inspiring, and it put them where they're at today. So hearing that from Eric Thomas was powerful. The other thing was Lindsey Sterling, when she talked about how she was single on the Valentine's days. And I'm very single on Valentine's days sometimes too. And if we can shift our focus to all the amazing relationships in our life, right? Like, wow, when she said that, I felt such deep gratitude, appreciation for all the people in my life. So many, I'm so blessed. And I want you to experience that appreciation too. That thankfulness of, wow, yeah, you might not have that one deep relationship, and you're going to create that. We're all going to create our relationship because we're all awesome, right? We're at the summit of greatness. We're filled with greatness. And think about and focus on all the amazing relationships in our lives. And that was super powerful for me. So that's my takeaway from Lindsey Sterling. Awesome. Last but not least, number 7, Rory Vaden. I got to go to his workshop, and Rory talked about your brand. And your brand is what people think of you when people think of you. When they see you, like what people think of you when people see you. So what is your brand? What is my brand? And I got to think about that, and we can actually shape the way people see us. So let that uncover something for you. And for me, I've been asking for feedback. What do people think of my brand? And I've been already adapting and adjusting to their advice. So that is the 7 different lessons and blessings from the summit that I got this year from different speakers. Yeah, I learned a lot of things from Jay Shetty and all the other speakers, but those are the ones I wanted to really focus on. And I did it under 12 minutes of the quarter of a football game. So that was the challenge for myself, because I could do it for 20 minutes. I could try and squeeze it in for 30 minutes and talk really fast and make it really fun. But this is the max value. Again, post your goal below so I can support you. And I'm grateful that we got to meet at the event. And I will see you next year. I got my ticket already. I'm excited. And I'm really excited for what you're creating. So I want to know and how we can collaborate. I have a YouTube channel. I'm an author. I'm a coach. So my vision is to support young men and women finding their dream mentors and teach people the art of enrollment, influence, sales. That's my jam right there. So if you can see service in that, and my gift is, like I said, being out there, connecting with people, introducing people together. That's what I'm about. And have no doubt, have no judgment, fear, any of that stuff that stops us. Overcome it. Use the tools of what you learned from the Summit of Greatness. Stay great. Stay fresh. Stay blessed. Peace from Philly.